If you hit that on camera, it would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. Come on.
Oh.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he actually is. He actually is.
Okay. Boomski. Just one more. Fuck! It's not working.
One more for the fans.
For the fans?
For the fans. One more for the fans.
I throw mine away. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
That baked.
It's been a while. What episode is this? 13? We should have researched.
It's episode 100. We made it.
We're so far in.
We made it to episode 100, guys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a little. Like you said, it's been a while. We started doing these more few and far between.
Yeah.
Because we really can't stand to be in the same room together.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it always ends up with like hair pooling and stuff. Like there was a period I had to cut my hair off because there were like chunks.
Yeah.
Out of it.
Yeah, I would get in like a weird like manic fugue state and just take chunks out.
Yeah.
It was pretty stressful for me. I'm glad you cut your hair. It really helped me out.
Yeah, no problem.
It really got me out of that little funk.
Yeah. No, but welcome. We're here at Festa 2024.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see. This is not our normal setup. This is not actually.
This is not Etienne's room.
No.
No.
I mean, believe it or not, I do have a cool water feature, but it's not this big.
It's just your shower?
Yeah, I leave it running and then I release some exotic fish into the mix.
That's so fucking high.
Yeah. Can we not talk about my shower? It's kind of traumatic for me after I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Could you not talk about
fair
it, please?
enough. It's episode 13. All right, we already, okay.
The Ghost of Christmas Past just informed us that this is episode 13.
I actually got it right.
You did? That's crazy.
I was
close. 100?
Yeah, that's closer.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
13 is still a milestone. That means we made it 13 episodes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Without getting canceled by the network.
The network?
Yeah. We're signed to Defy. That's a deep cut. I don't think anybody's gonna understand.
I didn't get that either.
So they bought Smosh.
Oh.
And then they went on. They went under.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a funny joke.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube, it's a funny joke.
Yeah, this is a great joke.
I know.
Especially if your co-host doesn't understand it.
It's really funny if you tell a joke and you know that nobody's gonna understand it.
Yeah.
It's like.
And you have to explain it a little bit.
Yeah, when you explain the joke,
it gets funnier.
It matures like
Maybe
a
we
wine.
should stop about this.
I think the more you explain it and the deeper you go into explaining that you're explaining it, the funnier the joke gets.
All right. Anyway, Festa 2024, baby, we're here.
We're here. It's so nice.
I'm so happy to be back. Like last year, it was our first time. It was your first time too, right?
Yep.
And we knew like, okay, we have to get back here, and it sold out in 5 minutes.
Yeah, actually, so the whole day I was stressing out because in the lead up to Festa, it was made clear that you could only pay with a credit card, and I don't have. I do have one now. The numbers is 7248. Actually, I don't have the actual card yet. I don't know.
What about the wacky numbers on the
wacky
back?
numbers? 666.
Oh, okay.
I'm blessed.
That's crazy.
It was like you could only pay with credit card, so I was DMing Tara. I was like, I'm fucked. Like I got to get somebody else's credit card. Like it's kind of stressful. And
I did it for Friso
because it was so close to the event that they announced it.
Yeah.
And I also said a lot of Dutch people might have problems with this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how it is in other countries, but in the Netherlands, like having a credit card isn't.
It's very rare. Honestly.
Yeah. I only just got one because of buying shit from the U.S.
Right.
Like you kind of need a credit card a lot of the time. And
you have services to do it though. I have Revolut.
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty nice.
So the problem is that I'm American, right? So my tax information is like it's really important that they know I have a credit card. So I have to give like my SSN and shit to Revolut. And so I'm kind of like sus about that. I'd rather, it's kind of stupid to be like, I trust the big banks, you know? But I feel a bit better like putting my social security number into the bank that I already linked to my US taxes.
That makes more sense.
Then it's like, I feel a little bit better about that.
That makes more sense, yeah.
But
yeah, we got in.
We got
in.
Here. So the thing is, I told Tara, I was like, some people are going to have trouble with this. So Tara was like, okay, we're going to put PayPal as an option, but next year we're going to announce it sooner that it's only credit card and people have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I got a credit card. But because I was stressing in Tara's DMs for so long, he had the impression that I was like, going to be sloppy with it or miss, whatever was going on.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, in the sense that like somebody who's so worried about it, surely they have a reason to be worried about it, right?
Yeah.
So the signups happen, and I have the fucking Start GG on one screen. On the other screen is an atomic clock. And I'm watching it, right?
Atomic clock.
And as soon as it hits the I think it was like 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
I'm like refreshing the page. I'm like, it's not up yet. You can't sign in. So the signups pop up, and I'm like speed running it. I'm like, only melee singles, fucking cabin. Yes, give me the towels. Fucking PayPal.
Whatever.
And then I go to DMs with Taraz, and I'm like, I'm about to type like, woo, thank God, like I made it. And I see Taraz is typing, and I was like, huh. Wonder what that's about. And I get the message and it says, bro, you need to fucking chill. You were the first one to sign up.
Nice. You speedran that shit.
I was surprised because I really didn't think I'd be the first. But yeah, it filled up in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually so crazy because I talked to Terrell about this. He said like the first year it was a week before it was sold out. The second year it was a full day, which was fine. Like all the people that wanted to be there really badly, they all got in.
Yeah.
And this year was 5 minutes. And like there's a lot of people who really wanted to be there who just didn't make it.
Yeah.
And there was a big wait list. There was a couple people here from the wait list, so that's good. But yeah, so this is a message to all of you. Don't sign up next year. Don't come.
Yeah. It's ours.
It's not a great experience.
It sucks.
Yeah. As you can see.
The thing is that like last year when I was signing up, it was already like I was tempted to sign up because I had been told how cool it was from so many people, and then that kind of happened again. Yeah. But it like made it worse.
But yeah, it's like logarithmic.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Exponential.
Exponential.
Yeah. Because then it's like everybody who's already been there is like, I want to go back. Yeah. And they also tell their friends, and then their friends are like, oh, I haven't gone yet, I want to go. Yeah. So in the lead up to this one, I was getting fucking stressed because everybody I spoke to that had been there last year was like, I'm going again for sure. And there were so many people who hadn't been there who were like, I'm going 100%. Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this is going to be a fucking slaughter.
For sure. Oof. But like, the vibes are so great here. Like, I really missed it this whole year. I'm so happy to be back. It's so sick. Like,
huge shout outs to all the TOs for running this because holy shit.
Oh my God.
You're basically a summer camp counselor.
Yeah.
Which
for
is...
smashers.
Yeah, for smashers.
The worst people in the world.
We are awful. We cause such a ruckus. Like, I always see the normal people coming up the trail, and I always think, like, what do they think of us here? Because it's like, there's the venue, and it's like a trail down to the docks, which is there. And so people will, like, walk down from wherever they're coming and do, like, a little, like, you know, sightseeing, you know, check out the nature and everything. And then they see just, like, a bunch of people hanging out with, like, fucking massive TVs
CRTs.
playing video games and shit. Yeah. People playing chess, like, everybody just hanging out by the campfire.
Yeah.
And you figure like it's probably just a normal thing, but like what's with the video games?
What's going on? Yeah.
Who are these freaks?
Yeah. It's you. You are one of those. Yeah.
I try to when it's dark, I try to hide in the woods and scare everybody that comes through.
Like Skunk Ape.
Yeah, like Skunk Ape. No, I was saying that if you really wanted to fuck with somebody here, you could just like pay someone to shadow them for a while, and then when they're going home alone to their cabin, just have them like skulking through the woods and like making noise and shit and like whispering stuff.
So crazy. Yeah, I've been sleeping in the hostels both years, so that's really close to the venue. But the cabins, I walked around the cabins a bit. It seems so nice, a bit more secluded. It really depends on what kind of vibe you want. If you want to be more relaxed, have some more time for yourself, have like a couple friends, chill out, have some food over there, you can do that. Or if you want to be like more party mode, you know, you can go to the hostel and you're like right next to the venue, have a lot of, you know, drinks. That's a lot.
A lot of drinks?
A lot of drinks.
How many drinks, Casper?
I can't remember. It's been a problem.
5-drink Casper is a menace.
Yeah, I just kept telling people I had 5 and I just get more and more.
It's like 5 and then blackout. And then it's like, you never had any more because you don't remember them.
I don't remember the rest, no.
So it doesn't count.
I mean, I found 2 days later. Okay, so the second night, I went way overboard. I went blackout drunk. I don't remember anything. I keep hearing stories, like snippets of people like, dude, you were fucked. Are you okay now? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And they're like, yeah, you did this and you said this and then you twerked for someone.
I told you I was the one that enlightened you about the twerking, I think.
Oh, right? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Yeah. Apparently I've twerked for many pals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sharing the love.
Yeah, of course.
Do you want to talk about how you left?
Sure. So I don't remember this, but I went to Cyril or One Tab. I was like, yo, dab me up. And so he was like, hell yeah. And we dabbed each other up like twice. It was perfect, apparently. I don't remember. And then I was like, lots of sex. And I left. And then I went to Collie. And I also told her, yeah, lots of sex. And then she asked me, with who? with who? And then apparently I went, you tell me.
Oh, God, dude.
You tell me. And then I left.
That is fucked up. Like that.
You tell me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're a menace.
No, and there were so many funny stories that came from like me being drunk, but apparently everybody was like, oh no, you're a funny drunk. Like you're just very happy and giggly and whatever, so it's all good. So that's good to hear. It was scary for the first like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, what if I like did something that I might regret, you know, or like offended someone or whatever. But apparently it didn't happen, hopefully. So
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
maybe I haven't heard all the stories
the
yet.
Twin Longer is going to come out after the event.
Yeah.
They're scared.
Yeah. Oh no, not again.
Oh God. No, but I also I told you the story about when I was blackout drunk, but I'll tell it again. Like one of the only times I was blackout drunk, I was at a house party for a friend, and the thing was that it was a friend was visiting who was like a friend of a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lived in Japan. We had met them before, and they came to visit, so we became like decent friends on the trip, and it was their last day there, so we're like, we got to go crazy. So the whole night I had 2 drinks in my hand at all times, and it was like a mixed drink and a beer, and I was just going at it. And by the end, I woke up the next morning, didn't remember anything, and when I got upstairs, everyone was like, "Oh, hey, the man of the hour," and I was like, "Oh," I was so miserable, like my head hurt so much. And one of the things that happened at one point was apparently I was sitting on the couch, I was like pale as hell, like I was white as a sheet. I had a blanket, somebody put a blanket on me, and I had a big bottle of water, and I was talking to somebody. I would ask them a question, and then they would start explaining the answer, and I would fucking pass out mid-explanation. And then I'd wake up, and I'd ask them more questions, and it just went for 15, 20 minutes, and then I got up and I puked. But there's a picture of me on the couch talking to them, and you can see them talking, and I'm just staring into the fucking void.
You're fucking gone.
I was
man of the hour.
The man of the hour. Yeah. I was I assume, because I don't remember any of this, I assume I was so drunk that I was just what do people normally do in this situation? Oh, they just ask questions and have a conversation. So I'm just asking random shit.
Yeah. I also always try to pretend like I'm not drunk when I'm drunk. And
of course,
I don't think it works. Yeah.
I think the real strat is to point out how drunk other people are.
You're
like, wow, you're fucking drunk, and then you get up and you fall.
Yeah. Oh my God, I sprained my ankle. So Bus told me oh yeah, you were partying over there, and then you tripped over a chair, and you fell over the chair. You sprained your ankle. Then you kicked the chair, and then you went "Aye!"
Like a cartoon character.
Yeah. And I was I don't remember that, but I can feel it. I can still feel it on my ankle. And one of the last things I remember of the night was going to bed and thinking I got to throw up. So I went over to the balcony. I threw up over the balcony. I went to bed, and then the next morning I was oh, I think I threw up. So I went outside, and then the people in my hostel were already up. And I was talking to them. I was oh yeah, I threw up over here. And then I was oh, I think I need to go again. And I started puking again. And they all just laughed at me. Aww. They just pointed and laughed while I was projectile vomiting.
I mean, that's a funny sight to see, It's it's I'm glad that's not me laugh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean, I did feel a little bit better afterwards. And then I went into the sauna. I went for a dip. And then I was refreshed. I still felt pretty bad for the rest of the day. But, we survived.
Oh yeah, I mean it could be a lot worse. One of the other times I got blackout drunk, it was partly because I, got fucking wasted, but partly because I was dealing with stomach flu or something I didn't realize. Yeah. So I threw up at this party I was at, in the nature or whatever. There was some woods nearby, and I was all right, I gotta go home. I'm too fucked. So I'm biking home, and I wake up on the sidewalk.
Oh no!
I was on the way there. I wake up. I was huh, what the fuck just happened? I only scraped my knee.
Oh, you're so lucky.
That was it.
The thing is, lucky.
If you fall when you're drunk,
you get face first.
No, but it's usually safer because you ragdoll. So when you fall, I mean, it's not safer. If you hit your head, it's still pretty bad. Yeah. But if you fall and you sort of tense everything up, you'll land on your arm. Yeah, you break your wrist, you break your elbow.
True.
That's kind of the dangerous part. If you just sort of on the ground, it's not so bad. Yeah. And I could have hurt myself. Seriously, for sure, because it's hard anyway. It's a sidewalk. Yeah. But I woke up and I was okay, I guess I got my bike, and it was only a couple minutes after I'd passed out. So I got home, and then on the way into bed, I just threw up.
Oh my God.
And that's the shit I was talking about, which is it could be so much worse. Where I was phasing in and out of consciousness, and I was I can't clean this up now. I surely can't.
No.
I still powered through it, cleaned everything up, went to bed, and then for the next 3 days I was bedridden. And just throwing up. I missed an exam because of it.
That's crazy. 3 days?
3
That's
days.
Actually insane.
It wasn't because I was drunk. It was because of the fucking stomach flu that I had. I was really...
So it's the double
whammy, yeah. I was damn, I didn't have that much to drink. No. But then it's also... I guess if you're sick, you get drunker, or just the fact that you're sick and a little tipsy, it's just magnifies
and then you fell off the bike, that also probably didn't help.
Right, yeah, maybe I had a concussion and I didn't realize.
Yeah, maybe.
It's actually, I didn't, now that I'm thinking about it.
Maybe you had, that wouldn't surprise me.
No, me neither. I mean, I got off scot-free. It was too easy. It was almost too easy.
You don't remember the pain.
But that was when Mang0 won Gommel. So that was like...
Oh, it's the Mang0 Effect.
It was the Mang0 Effect.
Right.
No, I was like bedridden and ill, but at the very least I couldn't sleep, so I could stay up and watch Gombo and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to see Mang0 win, and I was like, yeah!
Yo, speaking of a Mang0 win,
Yo!
another one, baby!
Another one on the board, baby!
Yo, let's go. Supernova, Mang0 won it all. But even more surprising, fucking Junebug?
Yeah, that was wild. Like,
I hated it.
You hated it?
No, I didn't
I heard
hate
you. I heard you were chatting mad shit.
I was so pissed that Axe lost. 'Cause
Right.
It's an unlosable matchup, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah.
So easy, bro.
I think it's just, again, it's like, it's almost funny because it's sort of like Axe getting the Axe effect, where it's like, there's not that many good players of this character.
Yeah.
So you don't get a chance to play against or play in that matchup,
Yeah.
but the other person has probably played that matchup way more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Junebug did tweet something like, oh yeah, shoutouts to some Pikachu. They apparently played like the week before for like 6 hours.
Well, there you go.
Or something.
So it's just about like prep in those.
Yeah.
Because like that's the thing. If you're playing a mid tier, like part of your edge is that you have a couple tricks up your sleeve that
sure.
people don't really know about, or maybe they're
Yeah.
you know, even if you study, you got some mix-ups you can throw in there. That's like kind of weird. It's just comfort in a matchup, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I did think Axe played it really badly, and he definitely, it shouldn't have been a 3-0, that's for sure. But, you know, shoutouts to Junebug though, like what a crazy run he had.
Yeah,
Like
that shit was wild.
He tore through bracket. I mean, he did have a really good bracket path because of the Zane DQ, but still, like, I think he would have given Zane a run for his money, because that's not a, I feel like that's, Marths in Netherlands, they kind of struggle with DK, with our local Risk.
Yeah.
DK, shouts to Risk. So, I don't know, it could have, even if Zane was there, I think Junebug would have still put up a show, but like, nah, he definitely showed up. Like, getting third, DK, like one of the most stacked events of the year, like, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty
What a
nuts.
god.
And then I was sort of thinking like maybe Mang0 has an edge over new school players in that probably in his time there were more DKs, I imagine. Surely not at the level of Junebug, obviously, because of how much has been developed, but like just having sort of comfort in like the combo weight of the character and things like that. I assume Mang0 would know a little bit about DK.
Yeah, and I think Mang0 is the type of player who will just shield pressure so well that it, like the punish game that gets you know, unlocked when you get a grab. DK's grab is 1 frame slower than the rest of the cast, by the way. So that's also like a disadvantage. I think Mang0 just ran in, and he was like, yeah, Falco's just gonna press his buttons and you're gonna die. And I knew that, I actually knew like, okay, this is gonna be easy for Mang0. Yeah. And Cody also, after losing to Bing, he was like, okay, I gotta fix something. And then he showed like, okay, yeah, DK is not a great character.
And he didn't take the Leffen route of going Sheik.
No, he just went Fox and just destroyed him, which was easy, I think.
I mean, I think Fox wins that matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, you play Fox
I play Fox,
that's the only matchup you play Fox for,
Sheik
right?
as well sometimes.
Oh, okay.
If it's a really RTC heavy Sheik, like if they're crouch canceling everything and they're RTCing me like every stock, then I usually just switch to Fox because I think like I can break crouch cancel easier.
Yeah.
I have like easier combos and follow-ups and things like that. Falco can like oppress Sheik more, but the fact that you kind of explode if you go off stage is really rough when you're getting RCC.
Yeah.
You just end up getting pushed to the ledge.
Yeah,
or you stay in center and get fucking owned.
pick your poison. If they're really good at RTCing, it's like, oh, you have to get away from it and you like tack away to the ledge and then what? Then you're getting edge guarded. Like,
yeah. It's rough. I mean, I had to play Neko Kaze yesterday.
Oh, yeah. You did well, right?
I did pretty good. It was game 5 last stock. I mean, I thought I definitely could have won it, but Neko just played a lot better in the second half of the set. Like, the beginning, it was sort of like, I could see him missing a lot of stuff and getting kind of frustrated. And at the end, he was tech chasing me like crazy and calling me out on stuff. Like, I was getting away with too many no techs. Yeah. Like, it's kind of a cheat for if people are lazy with RTCing, they're looking only at techs, they're not accounting for no tech. Yeah. And you can kind of get away with it. But, yeah, by the end, he was like up smashing me out of no tech.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. That's a lot of damage. And like perfect pop-up for like combos as well.
Or like double jab, things like that is also pretty brutal. So yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I'm glad Mang0 got another win. I'm not glad that anytime I do well at a tournament now, it's going to be, with the Mang0 Effect. It's
not the Mang0 Effect, bro.
Like, I beat, so, I don't know, we can talk about this briefly. Go ahead. I beat Renzo for the first time at a weekly.
Yeah, fucking sick win.
And I was, like, kind of happy. I was really happy about it because I've been, like, trying to deal with Marth and getting better at dealing with Marth and things like that. And, like, I felt like it was one of the first times I went into it thinking I'm going to lose, but I'm going to make it really fucking hard for him. I'm going to do as much as I can to, like, keep him out of my range. So, like, not only shooting lasers that I'm comfortable with, but also shooting fake lasers. So, like...
You can power shield them.
Exactly. Like, you shoot the laser, but you, like, land before it actually shoots and the click noise happens, and you see the shield go up. because they're like instinctively going for the power.
Yeah. I love that.
It's fucking brutal because then you can also go for like down tilts and stuff. Great.
Yeah.
But in the Twitch chat, I was like, I wonder, you know, I watched it back because I was like, I gotta see what I was doing and like kind of understand it. And in Twitch chat, people were like, oh, Mang0 wins one tournament. Suddenly all the Falcos believe in their character again. Look at this, the Mang0 effect. Like this, suddenly they're all, they think they can do it. It's like, let me just give a PSA for everyone out there. I don't give a fuck if Mang0 wins. Like, listen, Mang0 wins, excellent. Love that for him. It doesn't affect how I feel about Falco or any of the work that I put in playing Falco. It has no bearing on that. So it's kind of weird to have your win accredited to the win of somebody else, like in a different fucking continent.
I mean, it's definitely not like meant as a BM way. It's just, I think they just saw like a coincidence thing and just pointed it out. But like, still weird. Like, oh yeah, when X does well, then I do well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the X effect. I get a lot of women chasing me.
As soon as Axe wins, it's just like 15 women are bashing down your door.
Yeah, it's awful. It's actually traumatic. Like get me out of there.
Axe wins and you just like somberly turn off the TV and like you're just like, oh fuck.
It's gonna happen
Gotta
again.
get ready.
I can hear the trembling like of the
You smoke a somber cigarette on the balcony. Just, like, looking out.
I can see them running. I can see them like zombies.
Also, on the topic of good wins, so, you know, I had my Renzo win, but
yes,
Bingo Boys finally won a Dutch doubles bracket.
I forgot.
Yeah, right. It was too easy.
It was so easy. What did we win? Like $20?
We won $20, baby.
Woohoo, baby. I didn't even get enough money to pay my train back.
And I was TOing that tournament. That's the only money I got for TOing that tournament was winning doubles. That's the hard way.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I think we are now at the level where, you know, we match each other's freak.
Yeah,
I think that's what's up. Because we never really have to talk about what we're. I mean, we do sometimes, but like it's not. It feels like very natural. I know where you're gonna be, what you want to do, and vice versa, and then it's really nice.
Yeah.
I think at the start when we started teaming, it was a bit more difficult because I mean Falco is hard to play in teams.
Yeah, Pikachu as well. I mean, it's very like you have a lot of good tools in dubs, but you have to use them like sparingly. You can't just like do your Pikachu shit because like it's getting 2v1 is really brutal.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think we have good synergy now, and it's really showing because, like, I think we're like the third best team in the Netherlands right now, which is insane because the Netherlands has so many good teams, like really good teams players.
Disclaimer: the third place thing is Casper's opinion.
I think so.
I think we're more like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, it depends.
Like, I feel as though it's sort of difficult to say because we have a couple people jumping around different teams and things like that, and
I
stuff
would never
like
jump ship.
Stuff like me neither. Stuff like Prefer, sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. Like Renzo's a bit out of dubs right now, so like whether or not they show up is also.
But I actually do believe I think we're better in dubs than Pure now.
Okay.
That's what I believe. But you know, no, I'm not talking smack. They're fucking sick. I think we only beat them once.
It was the first time we beat them,
Yeah.
And the only other time I beat them was with Seal.
That's crazy. Yo, shouts to Seal.
I love Seal so much.
It's such a good. I also teamed with him. It's so funny we both teamed with him.
Everybody teamed with Seal. Risk did. Mauro did at one point, I think.
Everybody loves him.
Like, he's just such a nice guy.
He's really
I miss
nice.
him so much.
Yeah.
Did Friezo ever team with Seal?
I feel like,
Shrugs,
yeah, he did.
Probably. Most likely.
Yeah.
He gets around.
Good times. Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice. We one of the things I wanted to touch on was in Grands, we had to play Skullbro and Risk.
Yeah.
And you picked up pretty quickly on the fact that, because we lost the first set, there was a reset.
Yeah. So we won in winners, and then they came back in Grands, and then they won game 5 first set.
Yeah, and then we 3-0'd them, or?
I think it was 3-0, yeah.
Yeah. But the point being that in that second set, because in the first set you picked up on the fact that Risk was getting a lot more off, like a grab against me. And that's sort of the reason I play Fox against DK is because either way I'm getting comboed and I want to be able to recover like longer
better,
and have like a shine spike to deal with DK and like coming back and shit. So you picked up on the fact that like anytime Risk gets a grab, you have to just stop what you're doing and rush in and save me. And that was like a crazy deal breaker in that set because it was like, oh, now you never get anything off your grabs and I can combo the fuck out of you because I'm still Falco, you know, like.
Yeah, I think like the bad things about certain matchups in singles, they don't apply to doubles most of the time.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like I play Pikachu. I have struggles with Ices and Puff. We played Noxa and GG at this tournament, which is Puff and Ices. And I didn't have any of the problems that I usually deal with because it's doubles, you know, you help each other out. And like Ices needs a lot of time to do a lot of damage. And you just don't have that time in teams. And the same goes for DK having to combo a Spacey. It takes a long time. You know, get the grab, cargo, go to a side platform, and I'm already there, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
And your punish will be huge on DK as well. Like you said, it's an easy matchup.
But maybe it might just be that maybe Risk is just not as good at it, and I'm just biased because I basically only play Risk.
Yeah.
But I think I also do well against Mo, so...
Yeah, I mean, the evidence is there.
The evidence is there,
The evidence
Mo.
is there, Mo.
Better watch your back.
Yeah, Mo's definitely watching this episode.
Yeah, of 100%.
Course. He wanted to hear what we had to say about Junebug, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
No, but...
There's 3 DKs in the top 30, right?
Is that true?
Or at least top 50. Because it's Kwang 27. No, Kwang 29, Junebug 27. And then I think was Akir. He was like 35th. Or 40, something like that.
Okay.
I'm not perfectly sure. But like I know that there's 3 DKs in top 50 now, which is insane to me. It's insane.
It is crazy. Like it seemed so sudden.
Yeah.
Just like all of a sudden people were dealing.
I mean,
it definitely wasn't sudden.
It
like,
was definitely. I felt it boiling. I felt it. Like when was that that documentary from what's that?
Awesome Sauce?
Wuss Tunes? I think that was the first time.
Okay.
He made a really good, like, the renaissance of the Donkey Kong documentary. Donkey Kong Manchurian? No, that doesn't work. I tried. Anyway. Friezo's shaking his head. He's like, nah, bro. Nah. No, that was such a good documentary, and I think that also ignited a spark. I think there's a lot of, like, labbing Donkey Kongs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when in the Avengers when Hulk becomes Professor Hulk. You know what I mean?
He's like holding a.
He is because he can finally tap into Bruce Banner. You know, so he's like Hulk, but he's like I built a machine. It's like I have a device.
A device.
I have a device. I've got some sort of contraption type dealy. But yeah, all the DKs are now like, you know. Eureka.
Urethra.
Urethra.
I can just grab and kill people. Okay.
Nah, so simple.
It's actually so sick that like Junebug, he's been complaining about PM Donkey Kong for his whole life. Junebug was the #1 player in PM at some point. And then he was like, fuck this game.
He was Diddy Kong, right?
He plays Diddy Kong himself.
Yep.
And then he just kept losing to Thunder's Reign.
Yeah.
Or Thunder. Yeah.
It's Thunder's Reign, yeah.
Thunder's Reign.
Yeah.
And he played DK, and he was like, yeah, this character is so busted. Like, Donkey Kong is already pretty okay in Melee, that's what he thought.
Donkey Kong is pretty.
Donkey Kong is already so pretty in Melee. Woo! And in PM, he even got the boxing gloves, you know, like, got some extra
Dude,
sweat.
those skins are sick.
Those skins are really sick.
Cool.
But yeah, no, he was like, yeah, Donkey Kong is already great in Melee, or like good. And now he's like just insanely buffed in PM. Like, it was so broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just proved it, like, okay, yeah. He proved by playing DK in Melee that PM DK is busted. Isn't that funny?
By proxy.
Yeah, by proxy.
This is funny. That's pretty funny. Like just this vendetta against DK.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say is that there aren't that many low-level DKs in the Netherlands. Like we don't have that.
We had one. We had one player. I don't know if they still play actively. That was like last year. He played Green Donkey Kong. Yeah, Gat.
Gat, yeah. But that like, because my thought was at the Arcadian, right?
Right. Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't hear or see any Donkey Kongs doing stuff.
I don't think so.
I was listening to all the setups at once.
Yeah, you were tuned in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sick. I was locked.
Isn't it like overwhelming, or you're like Doctor Strange?
It's a little bit underwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was like, I was watching all of them in my mind.
Right.
All the matches.
You saw all the outcomes, all the possible outcomes.
Yeah.
And you were like, needs work.
There was an outcome where I won the Arcadian.
You had to go real back in time for that one.
I had to dig deep. But yeah, no, we were at the Arcadian, obviously. We were hanging out. It's a great time. And it's sort of so also, good. We can touch on, like, I think we talked about it for last Arcadian as well, maybe. Like the Big Bro Dub stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool, very fun. I had a good time at least.
I'm so happy that there were 2 no Big Bro Dubs teams in Grants.
Yeah.
That was nice. Like...
But you were the one you were in
I was third.
Losers Finals. So you were the only person who could have like not had that happen. And you're like, I'm so glad that they were there.
No, it felt like a win-win. Because Blit was happy, she got a medal. She walked around with that medal for like 3 weeks straight. She just wore it everywhere.
That's so sick.
It was so funny.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, no, it was a great time. I think, like in hindsight, I think maybe we were underrated a little bit, and maybe we shouldn't have been allowed to play together. But it was really close.
Yeah.
Because so we got third. We were the highest placing Big Pros team. But yeah, it was definitely a bit fucked up because Brit is just a down smash machine, and at Arcadians, that hit hard.
Yeah.
So she's just down smashing and building damage, and I'm just like trying to not get down smashed myself, and then finishing the stocks with up smash. And it was so, yeah, it was such a clean game plan. It was really easy to figure out what worked for us. It was fun though.
Makes sense, yeah. I'm glad I had a good time. I had a good time too. Like I teamed with Timmy Townbrook.
Oh yeah.
We were having fun.
Played Falco Pikachu anyway. That's so funny.
Because I was kind of salty because last Arcadian, I don't remember who I asked to team with.
You had to play with the Samus, right?
I did, but I asked about somebody else before in the lead up, and correct me if I'm wrong, because Knuckles denies this, and like I don't want to put words in Knuckles' mouth, but I seem to recall Knuckles being like no, and then also the fact that wasn't as common. Like the idea wasn't that you would do this, but now it's a bit more like because okay, maybe I'm going a little bit of a tangent, but for me, part of Big Bro Dubs is that like you're a player who has Dubs experience in a team that does well, so you understand how Dubs works and you understand how fun it can be. Yeah. And people sort of struggle to see that at the lower level because you don't.
It's overwhelming.
You don't get good at Dubs until you play a lot of Dubs, right? So it's the same thing with singles, right? Like there's another barrier and people aren't really willing to invest that time into and stuff. And finding a static teammate is kind of difficult.
It's difficult.
Who's always at the tournament with you. I'm just lucky that I found somebody who matches my freak.
Dude, it was perfect. I remember from the first time we sat down and you were like, hey, did you know about this? And you go, Mr. Game? Mr. Game. I was like, oh yeah, this guy knows what's up.
This is going to be good. I remember, but also before that, when you were teaming with Riley,
right?
You were in burger costumes at Spice. And I sat down to play you guys, and I went like... I took a little bite of the burger.
Yeah, you took a little bite out of my burger.
So that was like step one. Of planting the seed.
Yeah, you planted the seed right there.
But the point being for the Arcadian stuff is that if you have somebody who's more comfortable with you, like you're already sort of friends. Yeah. And then it's a bit easier for you to impart knowledge on them and like teach them and have them having a good time, you know? Like I understand as well that you can be friends with anybody, you know, you can just make that happen in the moment, but I think there's more merit to like, oh, this person I know struggles with Dubs, or they don't really do it that often, and they want to get into it, but they don't really know how. Yeah. I'm gonna pick them up with me, and then we're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and explain things and maybe like pick up on some things. For example, I think one of the teams that did really well was Stijn and Kimmy. Yeah. So Stijn and his girlfriend Kimmy. Kimmy doesn't really play melee a lot, but she plays Marth, and their whole game plan was, okay, Kimmy, you go for as much grabs as possible and just hold them, and then I'll try to do damage to them. And they did really well, and I thought it was really fun to see how fun it was for Kim, because it's like she could be, you know, in the spotlight for a change and do well with her partner. It was really fun. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's really nice to see. So yeah, that's my rant. Yeah. I think it sucks because you really don't want to take away the chance of like the lottery for players to get a big bro. And it sort of is like, oh, if you're friends with PR players, then you're gonna get, and it's like that's kind of shitty, you know, that you have to be friends with them.
I hadn't thought about that.
But like at the same time, I feel like it's easier for me at least to like help somebody enjoy Dubs if I already have a foot in the door with them. Like I know you as a person, or we're close. Or, like for instance, my bunker attendees, like I'd be willing to team with any of them because I feel like it'd be super chill to like help them out and make them involved in Dubs and things like that. And I'm glad to see that there are more people who are trying to do static teams like Villa and Rua. Oh, they're trying to team together more now, which is really cool to see.
That's so
like,
fun. I love that. Yeah. I love it when there's like two players who are like around equal skill level, just sticking together and never like going for, oh, hey, this other player who is better than you wants to team with me, so I'm going to team with them. No, don't do that. Stick with your partner.
That's the thing as well. Like, for instance, Circuit and Saving Team.
Right, yeah.
Crazy team, like super really fucking good. And again, like same skill level, and they make it work because they play Dubs. They don't play like two top players singles. They're playing doubles together. And it's like, like at Boulevard, they were one of the people who almost took us out. Like, that was close, you know, it's scary. So there's sort of merit to that, and then hoping people understand, like, hey, you don't have to be crazy in singles to be good in dubs. You know, it's a completely different ballpark. And you can like when we were getting upsets in dubs, that was before we were doing crazy shit in singles as well. You know, like we were doing God's work.
We were doing God's work. We were matching each other's freak.
Yep.
We were going crazy, go stupid.
We had brainworms matching brainworms.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
But at the Arcadian, so Max the Max.
Yo, what a run.
Yeah, right?
What a run. I mean, oh, dude, you just made me remember the pain I experienced. So we did like side bets for the Arcadian, and up until like 2 days before the side bets closed, I had my money on Max the Max and 2 other people. But my heart wasn't in it. Like, I don't know Max the Max very well, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna change my Max the Max bet to a Victor, which is the French peach. A Victor got second, only beaten by Max the Max, double eliminated.
Yep.
Like, come on. I just missed out on like 150 euros because of that.
Yeah. It's a bummer, but like them's the breaks. Them's the breaks.
Yeah. But anyway, no. But Max the Max, he did so well, and it was so fun to see all the like fringe PR players go at it. I thought Dr. Jonko had a really good chance as well. Almost made that upset happen versus a Victor.
Yeah.
11 stitches.
That was fucked up.
It just kept happening.
It's so messed up.
If you watch that setback, you can just. I was in awe of the amount of stitches that were happening.
It was hard to commentate because you just feel like going, bullshit.
Yeah,
like no fucking way.
Yeah, at some point it was like, nah, this is just not possible. And it wasn't as if a Victor was like just churning these turnips out of the ground like the whole time. No, it was like Dr. Jonko made sure that a Victor could only pull as little as possible.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like pulling all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, that being said, like a Victor's run also insane.
Insane.
Especially because she goes up to play, I think it was Serket, or I don't remember, but she gets up on stage and she drops her controller.
Oh, right.
And everybody's like, you dropped your controller. And she plugs it back in. Doesn't work.
Nope.
Nothing's coming
done.
up on the character select. Unplugs it, plugs it back in. Same thing. And it's like, holy fuck. You're at the Arcadian. This is a tournament you can win.
Yeah.
And now your controller literally died from falling like 2 meters.
Yep.
I've never had that I've never seen that happen before. Especially not literally sitting front row in the auditorium going, oh, fuck.
Everybody was like, haha, it's broken. And then, oh, wait, it is broken.
It actually is broken.
Yeah.
And then she ended up getting second on like somebody else's controller.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But it was a controller with the same layout. Like, it was also Z-jump.
Yep.
And it was also, I think, like the right triggers.
Still, I mean...
That's so lucky.
That is really lucky.
Yeah.
But still, like, playing on a new controller is...
it's really,
either way,
really
it's really difficult.
Yeah.
So, like, huge shout-outs to that. That was crazy. But yeah, my bets didn't go through. I mean, it didn't give me anything.
No,
I bet on Rua and Ceylanson, and I bet on Juke, but Juke didn't show up. So.
Classic.
I feel like Juke had a good chance.
He did have a good chance, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was mostly bummed out that Alec didn't make it to Grands because I thought his whole... like demeanor, like he made a video beforehand where he's like, I am the Arcadian king, the #1 seed. I love that so much.
So good.
And then he did like an airboxing thing with like which song was it again?
It was
Don't break me down.
Bring me the horizon.
Bury me. Oh, it's so good. And he went
it was was it that one?
Yeah,
it was the one from the COD montage.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the Arcadian as well, he like got a win, and it wasn't really close. It was like a 3-1. It was pretty convincing. And then he like popped off like very explosive. He was like, yeah, and he like started boxing in the air. I was like, oh, I hope this guy makes it to Grands because it's so funny.
It's gonna be a spectacle.
But no, he didn't make it. He got beaten. He actually got upset by Tom.
Yep.
Who did had a really great tournament run at the Arcadian. I think he got 5th or something, or 4th.
Yeah, I think so.
Eventually, Alec did outplace Tom, but then he got beaten by a Victor.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, rough one. I mean, it was nice as well that we had a Dutch winner, because the 2 before that, it was Belgian winners. This time we finally had a Dutch winner. It was close, you know, obviously. With
for sure.
I don't know why I did like the Trump, like, it was close, but... It was
Listen.
The Dutch... The greatest. I don't know. I met the Dutch. I said, these Dutch people, they are, I don't know what to say, these Dutch people, they're magnificent.
Yeah, Max the Max. But like the funny thing about Max the Max is he's been like He was very on the down low until like a year ago, and then he like beat a really good. I think he beat Renz? No, Fountainelle at like a Rougher Rumble.
Did he?
I think so. I think
that sounds like I need a fact check on it because that.
At least that's what I heard this week from someone who said like, yeah, Max is better than Destiny, and I was like, hold your
okay,
horse.
Wait. Okay.
Hold your horses.
Hold up. Destiny would have cleaned house at the Arcadian.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't even get me started.
No. So I was like, hold your horses, and then they went like, oh no, but Max had a Fountainelle win, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but I'm not sure if that's true. Anyway. No, but Max, he came kind of out of nowhere. Suddenly, he's like a really good player. And what I personally think is that he has a very good mindset where he is asking questions, but not like, how do I get better at punish? Or how do I get better at neutral or whatever? Like, it's not some vague concept. Like, you can't really answer that question. No, he's like, hey, I saw, like, for example, he asked me, like, hey, I saw, for example, you cross up my shield, and then you did an up air, and I don't know how to deal with that certain situation. Do you have a tip for me? And then I can be like, oh yeah, you can do this and this, because it's a very specific thing. And then he starts applying it immediately. Like that's how you ask questions, and that's why I think he's gonna be PR very soon.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it was sort of the same thing we saw with Mezzi, I think.
Yeah.
Where Mezzi just sort of picked up very quickly how to break down situations that he needed to figure out to make it work. Because like you were saying, if you sort of talk about these very generic concepts vague. It's like there's not really good advice because everybody's going to tell you something different, and you sort of have to figure it out for yourself. And again, like you might be resistant to the advice because it's so generalized. It's like do this, and then it's like, well, if I do that, then they do this. It's like, well, you're asking too broad of a question. You're talking about like an entire tree of options. Like you need to really narrow it down. Because this is one of the things we want to talk about as well. Like sort of the mindset of. Or like having a bad mindset and relationship with practice and unranked and ranked and things like that. Because now I think the community is really blessed to have these tools at their disposal. Like when I started out, I didn't get to play against players. I had to play against CPUs in my downtime. And it was just hours of grinding that. And then now it's like, oh, you can find an opponent in like 2 seconds. You don't really understand how good they are in relation to you. You can't really figure that out easily. So it's very easy to like build it up in your head as I'm really good and I have all these tools that I've figured out, and then you play someone who has a bit more figured out than you do and you lose, but you don't really accept the fact that they're better than you.
Yeah, you don't know.
And so you start
You're
to
talking about unranked, right?
Talking about unranked, So then you start to kind of build this unhealthy relationship with playing people online where you are like expecting the world and you don't realize that you don't have to win everything, and losing is also very valuable to glean information. It's probably more valuable than winning. Because you're being shown why you can't figure it out. But then people will take that like negativity from losing those sets and try to approach the problems, like you said, very generally. Like I play unranked, and every time I play against a Falco that lasers me, I lose. Like how do I deal with Falco in neutral? And it's just like, where do we even start?
That's a big question you got there. Like, I guess learn the power shield, whatever.
And you ask, like, I don't want to say bad questions. You ask, like, kind of vague general questions, and then
you get vague general answers.
You can't apply them easily, and then you get more frustrated because you're not improving. Because you're not figuring anything out that's worth figuring out yet. You know, those questions are better reserved for way later when you can have a deep discussion with somebody. Once you understand, like, the more intricate stuff, then you can go, okay, this matchup as a whole, what am I doing? You know, like, what is the general game plan? Because I actually had someone ask me recently, like a newer player, like how do you apply a game plan? Like what does that mean? Because I think
that's a good question. I like that question.
People ask, or people hear it, I guess, on comms or just in general. You get advice talking about game plans, and we forget that like these buzzwords don't have meaning for somebody who hasn't been explained to yet. You know? And some of us can internalize it a bit faster. But
it's also, I think, like a game plan. It really depends on like per matchup basis, because there's a lot of matchups that are so intricate that it's like you can go in with a game plan, but if you're just solely focused on that one thing you want to do, then and it doesn't work out exactly how you want it, and you are not able to adapt, then it's like, okay, this game plan isn't working or whatever. Even though it might be like a good game plan, you just need more game plans. you gotta have it figured out.
I was gonna ask you how we would describe a game plan then, because like what I was gonna say was that, at least for me, the way I approached it was you have a game plan, which is usually very surface level going in.
Yeah.
Like the first game or whatever, you're playing to feel it out and sort of like see what's going down. If you play this person enough, you have some stuff going in already, like adaptions you have ready to go. But generally, you'll approach each situation as like, I'm going to do this. How do they react? Remember that. You know, I'm going to try something else. How do they react? Remember that. And then sort of build your game plan from there. It's like a very dynamic thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you switch. Like your game plan is not like you set it and then you're done. Your game plan is like you start and it evolves and you pull new stuff out and you have a few things you can cycle through. Like, oh, I know that in these situations I can do this instead, and I know that it works.
It's like you have like a deck of cards, like a set of things that you know can work, and then you try them out on your opponents and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to start from zero and build everything up. You start with a basis that you've already built.
Start by asking, how do I deal with getting an up air from behind? By like just like Max to Max ask me like, oh, I'm having trouble with this situation. Can you help me out? And then, here's some things you can do and try to find out what works for you. Yeah.
So is that how you think you would describe it as well? You think there's anything missing to that? Like,
no, not really. I think it depends on a matchup thing. Because like I play Fox for Puff because of Tommy N. I hate you, Tommy. I hate you. No, so because, you know, Tommy N, he camps the shit out of me if I play Pikachu. So I had no agency in that matchup. So I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna play Fox. But Fox versus Puff has a very, in my opinion, very defined matchup. For me, I have like this very narrow game plan, which works so well that I feel like I don't even need to improve on it too much. As long as I'm playing well, I can use that game plan on most Puffs and it will probably work.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the best player ever, so I'm gonna lose against better Puffs, but that's all right because, you know, they are better than me. But like people of my skill level, I should be able to beat them with this game plan. Yeah. Which is just shoot lasers until a certain percent, depending on stage, and then fish for grabs, go for up airs, and if that doesn't work, shoot them more and more until they're high enough percent to get like a straight back air. Yeah, a jab kill. Yeah, exactly. But that's a very, like it's a very how do you say that, boxed off game plan. Yeah. And it doesn't really need a lot of tweaking, and you just. Like, of course, every Puff plays differently in neutral. If I see like, oh, this Puff is a bit more antsy, I can go for more up smashes, reads, whatever. Then if the Puff is really patient, I need to be patient as well. So, but it's all revolving around this one thing that I want to focus on. That's like how I would describe a game plan.
That makes sense to me. I mean, it's sort of like I was saying, I think the biggest sort of hurdle for a lot of people to get over is the fact that when you play a better player, you tend to feel like they're adapting so easily that it's like it's confusing to you. Because you're like, how are you figuring this out so quickly? Yeah. You know, like I did this once or twice, and suddenly you have an answer for it. And it's not about like in the moment having to do the whole eureka, you know, like figure it out. It's about having that on the belt already. Yeah. It's like I know this situation. I just have to be shown it to know that I need to pull this card out and play it. You know, like.
And if also this is also a thing that people forget. If something works and it just keeps working, don't hesitate to just keep doing it. Yeah. Because as long as your opponent doesn't show that they have an answer to it, then you don't have to change your game plan. Yeah.
I mean, double laser from the edge. Like
it works every time.
It works every time. No, like when I'm playing against people who don't really know how to deal with it, it's like, why would I stop doing it? Yeah. Half the time it just catches you off guard and you get owned. And then I'm playing somebody like Happy Meals or Stein or you, and it's like, if I do it once, I'm instantly punished for it, and I'm like, okay, I'll do something else. I'll do something else. Like, I'll figure it. I'll do a ledge dash or something.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then sometimes I still do double laser. You know, you have to.
I mean, it's still like a good option. So it's not like you shouldn't ever do it, but you got to be more careful if people have shown like, oh, I know how to deal with it. So be careful.
Exactly. Yeah. So just understanding that like if you're a newer player and you're struggling to deal with the fact that people are adapting better than you, it's not about how well you can think in the moment. That's part of it.
It's experience.
There is a big chunk of it that is critical thinking skills in the moment to reason about why you're losing, and that's also what analysis is for, learning how to identify what's going on in the game as it's happening. Yeah. But then at the other time, it's also like experience. It's like you said, you build up that sort of knowledge over time.
Speaking of analysis, I want to go back to Max for a second, because after his Arcadian win, like a week later, he posted a video of him. Just go back a little bit more. He tweeted right after his win, like, I'm very happy with my composure and my adaptability. that he worked on. So, and he wanted to go in depth more in that. So he made a video where he went through a couple of the sets that he played at the Arcadian and went through his thought process. Because, for example, he played against Skyrovania, another Falcon, also PR contender. And Skyrovania 3-stocked Max to Max Max game 1. And Max to Max Max like took a moment, thought about the game, like, oh, I am getting caught by, I think it was something with the side platforms, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm gonna try and work around that and like make a switch. And then immediately the second game, Max to Max Max 3-stock Skyrovania. And then he just 3-1, that was the set.
Yeah.
It was like a very well like analysis from, okay, what happened this one game? Don't panic. All right, these are some things that I noticed. I'm gonna try and work with it. I did it, adapted, adapt, overcome, you know?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, that's...
And I really liked that video because it just showed like, okay, this guy, he's thinking. Oh, he's thinking.
Oh, he's thinking.
And I think he's gonna be PR'd because of that. Because it really feels like he understands the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a piece of advice that Nebby gave me that I was always like, that was one of the moments where I started to think about game plans in that way that we just described. Was I think at a Sector Z or something, I played him and I took game 1 and then it was 3-1, same kind of deal.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And I asked him afterwards, like, what happened? Like, what did I do? Why did I win game 1 and lose everything else? And Nebby said, I'm not really ever playing game 1 thinking like, I have to win this game.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of a feeler.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna play game 1, we're gonna see, it's a best of 5, so we got plenty of time to deal with. Like, and again, if you're comfortable enough that you're that much better than the person, it's a safer bet to use it as like a feeler moment. Like, oh, am I gonna get this? Because I have that in best of 3s as well, where the first game goes really bad, and then I'm like, okay, but
lock in.
I'm better off for it. Like I've learned what they're doing, and they might get complacent, and then it's up to them that when I adapt, that they don't crumble in that same way.
Yeah, if you're, it's also like if you're playing a player that is like about to upset you, there's a lot of weight on their shoulders, and they tend to crumble a little bit because they're like thinking, or like they're in their head, like, oh, I might just win X player. Like, ooh, that's a classic pitfall.
This tournament, I had to play ECS.
Ah, yeah.
ECS Falcon. I'm up 4 stocks to 1. Last game on Yoshi's.
Yeah.
I lost game 1, so they picked Yoshi's, and they take the stock. Then I come down. I try to calm them off stage. I miss. I don't get the ledge because I'm too low. I die, and I'm like, okay. Then I come down, a bit more scrapping. I get like tech chase death, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I'm about to get reverse 4 stock. Yeah. Then the final stock happens. I'm bullying them a little bit. Like I'm super low percent, like 0%. Yeah. We get to the ledge, they grab me, down throw me. I DI in, and I'm literally right next to. I'm like, as soon as I DI in, I was like, oh fuck! And they drop zone. They miss me. They go too far, and they just plummet into the blast zone. And I was like, whoo! Holy fuck!
I'm sorry, ECS.
I got top player privilege there. That was
better player wins.
Hey, I deserved that one.
Yeah,
so I was really nervous, like in that situation, but I knew as well that their composure was fucking incredible. Yeah. Like in that last game, that was.
I mean, at that point you got nothing left to lose, right? If you're like last stock to 4,
you just try. You just
it's like you should, like, you know that there's a massive possibility that you're just gonna lose it. Yeah. And that's all right. Just try your best to make it happen, and and then SD at the last second.
And then SD at the last second.
That's my advice.
That feels like what I would have done something similar, like 3 years ago.
For sure. I still do that.
Yeah, right. That's
yeah. Speaking of getting 4 stocked, yesterday, Kreide, he asked me, hey, do you want to do a money match? Oh. I'm like, well, I'm 5 beers in, right?
Of course you
Again, I'm always 5 beers in. So I was pretty tipsy. I wasn't definitely like sober enough to be conscious about it. Like I wasn't blackout at all. But I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I'm a bit drunk, but we're doing it, whatever. So Kreide, he's good. And I think Diamond was there. He was watching, and another one I forgot because I was a little bit drunk. Just a bit. And like, okay, so we get to game 5. I think I was up the whole time. Like it was me getting the game first. So it was my counterpick. We start game 5. and I feel like, oh, I need to rip one. You let one rip. And I said up out, oh, I need a fart. And I just did it. I just let it, but it was a silent killer. So they didn't hear it, but oh my God, they smelt it. It was horrible. And everybody was like, oh no, this is awful. And I couldn't stop laughing, and he just force-stuffed me. I was like just losing it, like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
and then he force-stuffed me, and I was like, whatever, this is the best money match I've ever played. Like, it was so fucking funny.
It's all worth it in the end.
It was so funny. And Kaido afterwards was like, oh, it doesn't count, it doesn't count. I'm like, yes, it does. I shit myself and you beat me.
Yeah, that's the real like adaptability overcome. Like mind over matter. Just like lock in when the stink hits.
When the stink hits, you gotta lock in. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah.
In a bit, Friezo.
Yeah, Friezo, don't
Friezo's giving us cue
me.
cards. Friezo's trying to get me to say 10% off gamer subs, code Friezo. No, because we also have to touch on Kornspeicher a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because I was making the comparison, like like Kornspeicher is like a Festa 2.
Yeah, it's
situation.
awesome. I love it.
It was a really great time, and if you guys get a chance, it's going to be the Festa effect, so don't sign up.
Yeah, true.
No, but
it was really sick. It was the only problem I had with it. It was too short, and I know that the TOs also realized, like, okay, yeah, we need more days, so we're gonna have more days next time.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that because it was such a chill vibe. It was honestly very similar to the vibes at Festa.
Yep.
So I want to go back for sure.
And we had good times there with Skunk Ape. So
oh my God,
like, I had this, like, everybody. I think a lot of people know about Skunk Ape before all this shit went down.
Yeah.
Because it's just a normal cryptid, like it exists. But I used to bring it up to people to like piss them off. I'd be like, oh, like last Festa especially, I was like, Skunk Ape's in these woods, you know?
Yeah, he's here.
Nobody really picked up on it. There was like one or two people who, it was like an inside joke with us. I would just say it and they would be like, shut the fuck up. And so it's a very funny inside joke, you know, being really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
But at Kornspeicher, we brought it up. I brought it up to you.
Yeah, and I loved it.
And then you had a dream that like kicked off the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, okay, Skunk Ape, he's like Bigfoot, but he really fucking stinks.
Yeah.
Like, you know that he's there because just the stench.
Yeah, you can smell him before you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to tell your dream at Kornspeicher?
Okay, so we were like messing around, like talking about haha funny Skunk Ape, and then I also brought in Diamond and One Tab in on the joke and whatever. And then I had a dream that night where we were at Kornspeicher and there was like this path into the woods. And I dreamt that I was with Diamond and Etienne and I'm not sure, I think it was Brit, with the four of us. And we went for a walk, a casual stroll in the woods. And we go in the woods and all these snakes start appearing. There's like hundreds of them and they start lunging at us. Like, and we're all like dodging them, like, what the hell? We have to go back, we have to go back. And then at some point the snakes kind of stop and then Diamond goes,
no, I go off into the woods, right?
You go, you're scared, right? That was it. You're scared of the snakes. You run into the woods because of the snakes, and we're like, no, Etienne, come back. You're gonna die out there, you know? So we had to find you and take you back home. And then while we're walking to find you, suddenly, like, the smell hits us. And Diamond, and I go like, what's that smell? And then Diamond and I, we look into each other's eyes. We lock into each other's eyes, and we say at the same time, Skunk Ape. And then I woke up in a cold sweat. I was like, oh my God. It was so fucking funny.
So the running joke of that weekend became like, you would run into somebody and you'd just be chatting and you go,
what's that smell?
Do you smell that?
Do you smell that?
Smell that?
Do you smell that?
What is that? Skunk Ape.
It's Skunk Ape.
Yeah, Skunk Ape is now just a fixture whenever we're in nature.
I haven't smelled him here yet.
No,
I think he's still somewhere in Germany.
The water is like a natural barrier against Skunk Ape because he can't get wet or else the skunk of the ape goes away.
And he's just a normal.
And that's not scary, it's just an ape.
It's an ape.
What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, no, but Kornspeicher was really great. It was such a good vibe. I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, same.
I dropped out of bracket. It was the best decision I've ever made. You didn't. It was the worst decision you've ever made.
The first guy I played in losers, because I tried to get my matches done as quickly as I could. So I'm like camping out the setups where Kinzo's playing. I'm like, Kinzo, we have to play now. We play. Kinzo obviously body bags me. I'm like looking for the guy in losers in my round one, and I find him, and he's like, he's like, let's find a setup quick. And I was like, yeah. He goes, I just want to go outside and play football with my friends, so I want to get out of this bracket as soon as possible. I was like, no, I want to get out of this bracket as soon as possible. I want to go hang out with my friends. And then we played a set where I'm like trying to win, obviously, because it's a set. You don't want to just throw. But there was like this ominous feeling of like neither of us really want to win this. So we're just
it's a weird vibe.
It's really weird. So yeah, I ended up winning the set, and I was just like, have fun, man.
I wish I was you.
So dejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. Just because, again, like, it's starting to get to a point where when we do go to tournaments like Valhalla or other big ones, this year there haven't been as many.
Yeah.
But usually we're busy, you know? Yeah. Like we're commentating, we're playing, we're doing double singles and commentary. And then our downtime is like in the evenings and stuff. We can go hang out with people.
Yeah.
But during the day, there isn't that much. So having an event like Festa or an event like Kornspeicher where like, you're just able to chill out and have fun. And then it sort of puts the question in your mind, like, should I be playing Melee singles right now? Because I feel like I should take advantage of this and just sort of spend time with people I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
That I don't get to see so often, instead of, you know, not to dig on people I don't know, obviously, because I don't know you. Like, if you want to talk to me, come talk to me. I'm happy to put you down a few notches. But
yeah, sure.
But the people I do know, like, I want to hang out with them. I don't want to play some rando in bracket, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's still fun. I'm still having a good time, but there is, like, priorities to consider in those situations. And then it's kind of shitty to go to a tournament and not play, I guess, because then you're taking up a slot. But at the same time, like, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, you know?
I kind of just accepted the fact that, like, motivation comes in waves, right? And if it's not there, just don't force it, because it's... Or you're just not going to have a great time, even if you win everything. Like, okay, maybe if you win everything, maybe then you'll have a good time.
No, because I've started winning locals now because we have so many that, like, I'm able to do it. And I'm like one of the best players that shows up consistently with, like, Happy Meals and New. And Risk comes sometimes. He's not very consistent, but he does come. He does show up. Oh yeah, he does. But somebody was like asking me how I felt about winning like the Boulevard locals or whatever in a row. I won like 11 of them in a row or something. Oh yeah. And I was just like, it doesn't really feel any better than just like playing in a bracket anyway. Like it feels, it's so shit to say, because I know that when I was starting out or when I was still a shitter and losing like locals and stuff, I was annoyed when people were like, winning isn't everything, man. Like, you gotta relax.
But it is true.
But it's true. Like, once you start winning, you realize that it's not really why you're there. Like, it is really cool, and it's super cool flex to have, because I can just tell people I'm better than them, and it's true. but at the same time, like, the reason I enjoy those locals is because I'm hanging out with people that I care about, and I'm able to like chat with them and catch up and have a moment of like peace at a tournament that, like, we have this fleeting sort of feeling at tournaments now, because we like, I don't know, when you started out, it was probably the same. You go to a tournament and the entire thing is like a cool hangout. You know? It's like, just chill, play some Melee, and everything's fine.
You go 2-1, or 1-2, and then it's done. You know, you play your pools, you maybe win in one set, and it's done. You know.
Yeah.
But now it's very different. Like we're consistently getting far into doubles and singles bracket, and we do commentary for top 8 usually, or top 4 or whatever, and then it's just much. I mean, we've touched on this a lot of times.
Yeah. But it's just a common sentiment now, that especially that comes up at stuff like Festa, where it's like,
I love it.
It brings back that feeling of old Melee for me, of like when I started out and it was just hanging out. Like low responsibility. And again, it's not a matter of saying that that's better or worse. It's just different.
It depends on the vibe. Like sometimes you want to try hard and like do well in bracket and do everything, and sometimes you just want to DQ out of bracket and play football with your friends at Kornspeicher.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's right.
It's just different. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's like, you never really know.
Yeah.
But speaking of top 8s and stuff, commentating top 8s, we have a few tournaments coming up.
Yeah, we got...
the big one being Zup, obviously. That's the big
You're
one.
Also going to the second gallery, right?
Yes, I'm going to the second gallery.
Me too.
Maybe doing some commentary there. I don't know if they have a setup.
Yeah. One of the big selling points for me was that Cyril was like convinced me, like, we need to have like a side stream where we can just go crazy.
You're listening to the mainstream and it's just like, wow,
very serious,
like what a shield. And on the other side stream, it's like, oh,
hey, give me another beer, baby.
Hey, 5 drink customer in the house.
Oh my god, I can smell skunky.
Lots of sex. Lots of sex.
Yeah, that vibe, you know. No, but yeah, I want to do comps there. And I also kind of want to get back into the motivation part of it, like because I've been kind of demotivated as of Kornspeicher, like I've reached a lot of my goals that I wanted to reach in Melee. Like last year, first it was, oh, I want to become PR'd. Then I got like 20th, woohoo, barely made it. All right, then I was like, okay, I guess I'll go for top 10. And it was like, oh, that's a reach. And then I made it. And I'm like, oh, okay, now what? I'm not...
Top 50 Europe, and then you made it.
And yeah.
And then it's...
and then it's like, okay, well, I'm not really like pushing for top 5. I can do it. I think I could be top 5 in the Netherlands for sure. But it feels like I've already done enough, you know. I'm happy with how sick I am. Like everybody loves me. You know, I have the sickest Pikachu in the world.
It's true. It's true.
I'm getting boxes nerfed left, right, and center. You know, it's great.
You're pissing off big time commentators.
Yeah,
causing some beef.
No, but
those
like,
that know, they know. But we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I've made it. No, but like no, I
it.
think like I've already done so many things in Melee that I'm like, you know what? It's time to it's all right to take it down a notch and just chill. We'll see what the next year brings, and maybe my motivation never comes back, but I'll still show up and do the things that I love because I fucking love the Melee community, man. Yeah, it really means so much to me to be here.
Same. It's just so wholesome.
Yeah.
Really makes you think about how lucky we are. I always talk about how lucky it is to have a hobby that makes you social, like that forces you to be social and gets you out and doing stuff. Because there's so many hobbies that are isolating and like,
for sure
only really serve to make your free time more enjoyable. This is more like 2 birds with 1 stone, you know. You get to see a bunch of cool people, make a bunch of friends, hang out, play the game you love. And
it's so international too. Like I have friends in basically every single country in Europe now. I mean, all the countries that are like surrounding the Netherlands.
All the countries that matter. I thought that's what you were going to say.
No.
I was like, holy shit.
No. I was not going to say that. All the countries that are like close by.
I saw the twinkle in your eye. It was coming out.
I'm going to say it.
He's going to say it.
Skunk ape.
No.
No, but it's so good to see like friends from other countries, and like there's always someone who wants to, you know, sleep over at our place when there's a tournament in the Netherlands, and they're also like, yeah, you can come over to, for example, the gallery, and then we'll house you, and it will be great, you know, like, and I love that. I love that the Melee scene is so, you know, how do you say that? Like hospitable?
Yeah, hospitable, warm. Welcome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Big Max has housed me. I've housed Big Max, and Big Max has housed me like a lot of time this past year. Because they just keep coming back to the Netherlands and then staying in mine like for like a week and doing other stuff the other weeks. And then for Avant, I stayed at theirs for a week, and it's just a fucking blast. And it's like,
so good.
You know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know, you always have a place. If you're helping people out, they're willing to help you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the gallery too. We have Zop. We have Center Stage in the Netherlands. Center Stage 2. The first one was banging. Friezo was doing some crazy stuff with the cameras and everything was great.
That was so sick.
And I lost to Aaron. Wonderful. Always
awesome.
a blast.
Love that.
So that's coming up as well. And then finally the Max tournament. So Little Max is hosting it's Let's Eat on the Grass.
Let's eat the grass.
Let's eat on the grass, isn't it?
I thought it was Let's Eat the Grass.
Okay, let's eat the grass.
Do it. How many stomachs you got?
I got 1 for the grass.
Just one?
And 1 for the money. I got... I still want to... the same.
You match my freak, I'm telling you. No, I do want to sign up for that, I think. But when is it? The
end of August.
Oh, no, that's a little bit too much
so
for me.
That's going to be sick. The top 2 placers, I think the only UK players will get flown out.
They get flown out.
31st of August. 31st of August.
Yeah, it's too much for me. I can't do that. I could, but it's a real tournament, right? Like, it's not like Festa where it's just like, oh, we chill and I don't play bracket.
Exactly. It's in the Red Bull gaming sphere.
It's gaming time. Oh, but it's in London then.
Yeah.
That makes it easier though, right? Because the flights are cheap, right?
Yeah, ish. I don't know how cheap they are now, but as we get closer to the date.
I'll see. Maybe I'll talk to Brit about it. Maybe she wants to. Small chance. I don't think I'll go. But it does sound amazing. Also, shoutouts to Wormkin/Bard. She made all the art. Wastoid? I love her art. Wastoid, yes. I think she goes by Bard.
She goes by Bard now, yeah.
But I love her art. Shoutouts to you if you're watching.
Nice.
I don't think she will be.
And you can support it by getting a T-shirt.
Oh,
I think you can still do that. I'm not sure, but you can go check that out. I don't know what the Star GG is, but go to Little Max's Twitter. It's definitely there.
Yeah.
SSBM or Max SSBM or SSBM Max, something like that. But that's pretty much.
Is there anything we still want to talk about? Like,
I don't think so. I think we got everything. We got it. Oh, but I mean, we can end off with the controller in the tree at Kornspeicher.
At Kornspeicher. Oh yeah, that was actually so beautiful. Okay, so at Kornspeicher there was a player. I don't remember who it was.
I do. I'm not gonna say their name because I don't know if they want
to
be associated with the story.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But that player, they played their bracket and it didn't go well. It was tragic. He or she, I don't know. They were not feeling it, and they were like, "Why do I even play this game? Do I still like playing this game?" And they walked out of the venue. They were like overlooking the trees on the top of the castle.
Yeah, there was like a wall and then like trees off like a cliff, basically.
Yeah, there was trees off a cliff, and then they decided, I'm over this. No more for me. And they threw their controller away, and it started dangling on the trees. I swear to God, I hope it's still there. But they tried to get it down, and they couldn't get it down. It was like all tangled up in the tree. And it was, at some point when I found out, I went there and I watched it, and it was like so poetic. It was like, it was dangling there. It was a beautiful sight. And the sun was setting.
It was mesmerizing.
It really was. I think I watched it for like 15 minutes or something.
People were always at that wall staring at the controller. Like there was always somebody there.
It was beautiful. People made like poems.
Yeah. The first time I saw it was, it was a whole singles debacle. I was waiting for my matches and I was like getting grumpy. I was just standing around doing nothing, and I was like, I could be having fun right now, but I'm standing here. And Ridley came up to me and was like, "Hey Chan, how's it going?" And I was like, "Yeah, not great. You know, I just kind of want to be out of bracket and be done with it. I'm super stressed out." And I was drinking a Spezi or whatever. And Ridley like takes the Spezi out of my hand, takes my controller away from me. He's like, "Okay, I want you to go downstairs. I want you to walk over to the wall at the end of the castle here. And I want you to look out and just tell me what you see." And I was just like, okay. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, so I go out, I light a cigarette, I'm just like walking by, like I look over the cliff, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to be seeing here? And then I just lock eyes with it. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And it's funny, but it was just so peaceful to see that. So I was just like, oh, this is nice.
It was the final resting place of that controller.
Yeah. Just like this will be my final resting place. My grave will be right there.
This is a beautiful spot to be buried, let's be honest. I can help you with that.
Like burying me?
I can bury you alive, like right now.
Sweet, let's do it. Let's end the episode digging a
hole.
All
right, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed Half Cocked, Half Baked, episode 100.
Yes,
it was
we made it.
And I'm going to go ahead and bury this guy right now.
Hell
and I'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.